Today I want to show you something that you truly don't see every day. It's not just an old truck. It's not just a camper. It's a piece of history that somehow survived in remarkable condition. What you're looking at is a 1963 Ford F-250 paired with a Delray Sky Lounge truck camper. And if you know anything about classic campers, you already understand how rare this combination really is. First impressions matter. And this truck makes one immediately. The bright red paint still carries presence. It's bold without being flashy. The stance feels purposeful. Underneath, it rides on 16-inch wheels wrapped in grabber tires with plenty of tread remaining. Up front, you've got locking hubs and the undercarriage. Well, it tells its own story. Solid, clean, no hidden surprises. For a vehicle of this age, that alone says a lot. Now here's something important. While the body remains true to 1963, the frame underneath has been upgraded to a 1977 Ford F-250 frame. That's not a random modification. That's reinforcement. It adds strength and reliability, especially when carrying the camper. It's the kind of smart update that keeps a classic usable, not just collectible. This isn't a showpiece that sits in a garage under a cover. This is something you can actually drive. And when you step inside the cab, you feel that vintage character immediately. The cream-colored bench seat shows honest, where what I call broken in rather than worn out. The metal dashboard is in excellent shape. No major scratches. No corrosion creeping through. Everything feels solid. You've got your four-wheel drive shifter mounted on the floor, just where it should be. There are additional gauges installed, an RPM gauge, oil temperature, and battery gauge, giving you a bit more monitoring than what came factory. It's a subtle mix of old-school charm and practical upgrades. The odometer shows just over 90,500 miles. And when you start up, you understand why that matters. Under the hood sits a 460 cubic inch V8. Plenty of torque, plenty of confidence. And when it fires up, it does so without hesitation. No pumping the gas. No drama. Just a clean start and a steady idle. For something built in the early 60s, that kind of reliability feels almost surprising. The exhaust exits neatly ahead of the rear wheel. That's not just aesthetic. It keeps fumes away from the camper entrance when you're parked. Small detail. Smart design. Now let's talk about the camper itself. The Delray Sky Lounge was at the top of the lineup when it was introduced. And once you step inside, you understand why. The camper sits securely in the truck bed and attaches properly. And if you want to remove it, all the parts are included to do that. You can detach it, set it down for storage, and use the truck independently. Even the original tailgate is included. From the outside, it presents incredibly well. There's one small dent near the upper corner. But aside from that, it's remarkably clean for its age. Step inside, and you're immediately surrounded by real wood paneling. Not veneer, not imitation. Real wood. And it has aged beautifully. There's warmth to it. Authentic character. The kitchen area includes a sink, a 3-burner stove, an oven, and a refrigerator. Everything you'd need for a weekend. Or longer, away from civilization. Cabinet space is generous. Storage was clearly prioritized in the design. There's even a compact, all-in-one bathroom setup. Toilet and shower combination. With a curtain rod ready for installation. It's efficient. It's practical. And for the early 60s, it was ahead of its time. The dinette area features a wall-mounted folding table. You can set it up for meals and fold it away to open the space. That seating area converts into an additional sleeping space when needed. And then there's the feature that made this model famous. The Sky Lounge. Up above, you have a raised sleeping and viewing area with panoramic windows. It's elevated above the cab. And the view from up there? It's something special. You can imagine parking at a quiet campsite, climbing up there at night, and just watching the world around you. It's peaceful. It's simple. It's timeless. There are a few small signs of age inside, minor scuffs and marks, but considering this camper is over 60 years old, it's honestly in impressive condition. This isn't just a truck and camper combo. It's a self-contained time capsule that still functions the way it was meant to. I'm going to walk you deeper into what makes this setup so practical today, and why something like this might be more usable than you think. Because once you see how everything comes together, you might start looking at vintage campers in a completely different way. Now that you've seen the foundation, the truck, the camper, the structure, it's time to talk about something more important. Does this actually make sense today? Because it's one thing to admire something vintage. It's another thing entirely to live with it. And surprisingly, this setup holds up better than most people would expect. Let's start with practicality. The upgraded 1977 F-250 frame gives this truck a level of structural confidence that the original 1963 platform simply couldn't match. That upgrade transforms this from a fragile collectible into a usable classic. It's not just for display. It's built to move. Pair that with the 460 cubic inch V8, and you got torque for days. You're not crawling up hills or white-knuckling highway merges. It has the muscle to carry the camper without feeling strained. That matters, especially if you actually plan to take it out on trips rather than park it permanently. Oversized. But because it's authentic, it carries history. It tells a story. And in a world where so much feels mass-produced and disposable, there's something powerful about preserving and actually using something built decades ago. This truck and camper combination isn't about luxury. It's about experience. It's about driving slower, camping intentionally, watching sunsets from a raised window instead of scrolling through a screen. You feel connected to the machine, to the campsite, to the moment. And that's rare. Would this setup be for everyone? No. If you need full climate control, push-button everything, and modern convenience features, this probably isn't your match. But if you value craftsmanship, mechanical honesty, and the idea of traveling in something with soul, this makes a strong case. Because at the end of the day, camping isn't about square footage. It's about perspective. And this 1963 Ford F-250 with the Delray Sky Lounge offers perspective in more ways than one. It reminds you that you don't need the newest thing to create meaningful experiences. Sometimes the older setup with thoughtful updates and solid care offers something far more interesting. It offers character, and that's something you can't buy brand new.